Anti-American protests in Libya, Egypt, and the Middle East have been dominating headlines worldwide. The U.S. ambassador to Libya, Chris Stevens, along with 3 consulate workers, were killed in the violence in Benghazi. Demonstrators and rioters continue to gather outside the U.S. embassies and consulates in Cairo, Sana'a, and Tunis, as well as other cities. Now, U.S. authorities say the violence across the predominantly Muslim countries were triggered by a 14-minute anti-Islam video titled "The Innocence of Muslims." The film has since been removed from YouTube, but that has not stopped the spread of violence across the region. In an effort to diffuse anti-American sentiments abroad, the chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff, General Martin Dempsey, reached out to Pastor Terry Jones on the phone asking for him to withdraw his support for the film. Now, based in Florida, Jones is no stranger to controversy over the years. His highly publicized call to burn the Quran has incited anti-American protests and violence throughout the Muslim world in the past. Now, although Jones is not responsible for the film, he has been a vocal supporter of the video. So, how are Chinese Weibo users reacting to General Dempsey's concern that the film will continue to inflame tensions? Let's see what they have to say.
The Department of Defense can't do the same job as the media regulators. The Defense Department wants to interfere with the film industry? This restricts the freedom of speech. This is a blow to the public opinion. They only know how to put a gun to the weak. How can the Defense Department do this? They really think they are the media regulators?
Interesting to see how many Weibo users are standing behind the film, or rather the right to have the film shown without pressures from the U.S. government. And for some users, they were quite quick to point out their own anti-U.S. sentiments. Take a look.
The backyard is burning. The U.S. is supposed to deal with East Asia, but is now distracted by the Middle East. It must be so hard for the American empire. The U.S. wants to brainwash the Muslim world, but it has now backfired.
But not all the commenters were in support of the violence spreading around the world. Some Weibo users commented how the U.S. government is powerless to ban the film because its laws regarding free speech. And here's what they had to say.
The U.S. Department of Defense does not have the right to dictate whether a movie can be made or shown. The U.S. government can only ask, but not force the broadcast of the film. Violence is certainly wrong, but Americans should rethink. When you express your opinions, you have to consider the opinions of others. Freedom of press is a sign of human progress, but you should not use your freedom to harm others.
Well, it's quite fascinating to see how a low-budget video can be the trigger of so much violence and condemnation. It just goes to show that we are more connected to each other through the internet than ever before. However, to blame all of the recent tension in the Islamic world on the internet video would be simplifying just how complicated the relationship is between the U.S. and its policies and Muslims around the world.